everybody. Welcome to another episode of SPAC Chat. We're hoping that we are giving you good information and that we've gathered some more people here to continue some discussions. And I'm going to throw it over to our host, Calvin Harrell.
Hey there, good afternoon. Again, good morning or good evening. It all depends on where you're coming from or when you get to watch. You know, we had a SPAC chat and we were talking about the conditions that schools are going to be under and our ability to get into schools to service them. While we know that we're going to get some serious restrictions coming down the pipeline based on the pandemic, we still need to access the school to keep our relationships solid. But not only that, we need to be able to provide the school with services that they absolutely need to start up their school year. So we've been talking about this a product that's been developed called High5, and it's really been developed under the umbrella of SPAC, shall we say, because there's been some guinea pigs that have used it and tested it out in the marketplace. And so we're here to have a discussion on what the new features are and how it's working and what success people have seen. So let's talk about digital ID cards. Let's talk about the landing page that students have on their cell phones, the entrance screening system. There's just a host of services that have been built into this particular solution to what the schools needs. Marty, what's the thing going down regarding CDC on their entrance? Because they have, not only do they have opening the school processes that they've recommended, they also have entrance. How do you get onto a school site?
Corey sent a really cool checklist that the CDC sent out way back, maybe April, May. And it says 3 things before you open your school. And one of them is an entrance screening process for symptoms of COVID. Now that the LEAs have the decision-making capability to decide whether they're going to go with an active screening process where they're going to take everyone's temperature every day, or they're going to go with a passive one where the parents are going to take the temperature and say, hey, my kid's fine, take them. The school does not have a record-keeping system of when that student's coming in, are they allowed on campus or are they not allowed on campus? As we're doing the digital ID card, Michael, the genius boy that he is going, hey, we could do this on the phones. We could get the ID cards to be read and develop a system, a solution for something that the schools don't even know they have a problem for yet. So you just imagine for a second, okay, Bob, you got a temperature today, don't come back for 3 days. Well, who knows when 3 days are up? Hey, Bobby, your aunt had, COVID positive, and so now you're out for 2 weeks. Well, who knows when 2 weeks are up? How do we know who's on campus, who's not on campus? Bobby's brother will quit kissing his girlfriend, and so he can't come on a campus anymore. Someone's not wearing their masks. Well, he can't come on campus anymore. There's no way of managing this. This is not at all, you come on back, y'all come back now, you hear? They has to have controlled systems. They don't have it. You as photographers can offer them a solution. And Mike and I, because we don't want to make any money, this is a free solution that we're offering for the schools. Mike, can you explain? Well, don't explain how you get it away free. I don't like that part myself. But if you can explain how it works.
Okay, so just to refresh, we're talking about a kid walks up to a school and is either going to be allowed onto the school campus or not. They are admissible in person or they are not. It's easy for me to show a video describing what this looks like. We've got some technology that helps the school, once they've made that determination, this kid is or is not admissible in person, how do you convey that information to a greeter, a person at the door, to let that kid in or not? So I'm just going to let this video play and talk over it. So there's 3 different ways that we handle that moment. In this first one, the kids are just holding up their phones, and they're holding up digital ID, which is called admissible ID. It's different from student ID. It says, I am or I am not admissible on campus right now. In a second mode, the kids don't have their phones. Maybe they're on only grade 4. And what they're doing is they're taking their physical student cards and they're holding them up in front of a laptop. It could be a Chromebook or a MacBook. It doesn't matter. This kid is being told no. There was a sound effect that said rejected. These guys are okay. So what's happening is the school's admissibility is being checked for each one of the kids individually as they go and enter the school. And then finally, there is no laptop. It's just the teacher or the guardian or the security guard or whatever. They use their personal phone. There's nothing installed. It's quite safe. And they scan the kids' cards one by one. And they get dug out of the database and told, you are okay. And you can see that one is there, good to go. And they are cleared to enter the school. So everything here is being keyed off the presence of a QR code on the cards. And the neat part about what we're doing is you guys in this conference call are all about to do that for real. In a previous demo, I sent out an email or an SMS. You guys took your selfies and now you're officially students at the school. So just to recap, if I go into the data section, I see that Calvin is a student, and I'm going to mark Calvin as admissible in person. And I'm also going to mark Stephanie as admissible in person. She already is. But for reasons, I'm going to say that Corey is not admissible in person. And maybe Chris as well.
Well, we know Chris has been kissing the girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know?
The cute part about this is I don't want to know why that box is checked or not. I don't want to know about student records. I don't want to know if the kid's been immunized. I don't want to know if the kid is currently infected, having failed a test. That's all quite private information. We have no reason to know why the box is checked. It could be behavioral. The kid refused to wear a mask. It could be that they're the kid of a critical worker and they get priority. It could be just that it's on week and off week and this kid's last name starts with A through N, and that's why they're not allowed in this week. It doesn't matter. It's just a checkbox. Now, I mentioned that you guys in this call were going to be the teachers. So if you could take your phones where we left them from the previous demo, you're looking at your landing page, and I'll just recap. The landing page is something that's unique for every individual, every teacher, every student. And if you look under teacher tools, you'll see one called entrance scanner. There's Corey, just go into teacher tools, please, and entrance scanner will start up. What I'm going to do is there's a button here called See Cards, which is basically just for this moment in a demo. It just renders a bunch of cards out so that you guys can take your phones and scan these cards off my screen.
Are you kidding me?
So I hit entrance scanner.
Yep.
Which pops up this. And now I'm going to aim it at Calvin. Oh, well, first of all, it came up with me as caution.
Hang on. What I'm going to do is try to reduce the size of this so that we can see what's going on. Okay, there we go. So, Corey, please scan people. Show how quickly you can do it.
Okay, just took Stephanie instantly, and it makes a sound too. Oh, Michael, you can't go to school today. Let's see. Makes a sound as well, so you know that it was read.
Yep. It should work for everybody. Calvin, Susan, if you want to give it a crack, it'll work.
Yeah, I was way in front of you. I tried it right
All I did was do the entrance scanner.
Yep.
On this menu. I just hit the entrance scanner. It's bring up the QR. Like I said, it makes a sound, so it knows it's captured.
Okay, so scan Calvin, would you please?
Sure, Calvin. Oh, Calvin's isn't coming up.
Because I'm not worthy.
Don't know. It worked instantly as soon as I got close.
He's good to go. Calvin is good to go.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, if you scan the same person twice, Corey, it will not let you do that. So,
Yeah,
okay, let's go into Calvin, and I'll make him not admissible in person. And now we'll go right back in and look at the cards again. And if you scan somebody else and then Calvin again, you'll see that he is now not good to go.
Michael, it dinged. You're not good. Calvin, dinged. You're not good.
Okay,
Stephanie,
so
still good.
what you saw there was a live update. For my own reasons, I said Calvin was not okay to come into school. I made that change in his card. Notice, this is not, this thing we're looking at here, this may as well be a printed physical card that looks like this, right? It's a kid's static card, which is updating in the database on the back end. How are we doing? Any questions on this?
I have a question. How many administrators have access to the program? Because I see this piece of it being done by the nurse. So the nurse is going to enter in who's admissible and who's not.
Yep.
So
everybody has ID at the school. Everybody therefore has a landing page. And so everybody on this call logged in and saw their own personal landing page. And then whether or not that person sees the entrance scanner is entirely up to the school. Let's go there. I'm going to go into the landing pages for the school. And we see all of the different options, including under teacher tools. If we go in, we see the entrance scanner, and then take attendance we'll come to later. Right now, this is offered to everybody, including to students, just because it makes for an easier demo. But if I uncheck this and then save, it'll disappear from your phones if you're students. So that's how you would turn it on and off for different classes of people at the school. And that's how a nurse would see it or not.
Which I think would make it easy in case there is no school nurse and House 1 secretary gets assigned this task, or they have to give it to another staff member to handle it. It could change from school to school then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And is there a way to have everybody be admissible from the get-go, and then you check off? So you don't have, you went in and individually tagged them admissible or not?
Yeah.
Again,
Well, I'm going to rephrase that question. If I can, is there a possibility that it's data driven as opposed to individually walking and clicking on 1,000 records?
Right now, the answer is re-import the database with a column called admissible, yes or no, and you can do it in bulk, and you could export it from the school information system, and that works. Okay. I think that by the time we ship this, I will have added a few more features related to timers. If you notice that the kid's got a temperature, which we could handle, then wait some number of days, 5 or whatever the incubation period is. I could imagine tools to manage this because it is quite a specialized problem for 2020. But anyway, at the moment, individually or bulk import.
But to share, Susan, did the question I asked, was that the question you were trying to get to also?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I just did that with the school the other day. Before importing the database, I put a column in IPI accessible true and gave everybody true. And I mapped it and made sure it came in and everyone was accessible. And what happens, I heard an LEA the other day saying, you can go with distance learning, but you have to stay in distance learning throughout the grading period. And so that person would have an ID card, but they're destined for distance learning throughout the grade period. So then they'd say, hey, that person's not admissible to come on campus. So that's the type of data that you would have in there. And also the ABs, I got to come on the A day, I'm coming on a B day. Who's keeping that? How are they keeping the track of that?